know we have to beat Clemson to advance to the finals. If Louisville wins, then we know that we could lose to Clemson. We don't want to do that and beat Louisville and still advance, because the highest, if everybody's 1-1, the highest seed would advance. So it's an odd format, but it's something that our coaches have felt strong about for a long time, just to guarantee that two of your starters will get a chance to pitch in the tournament. And the winner of the tournament is only going to play 4 games versus 5 or more. And so we felt like heading into the following week, the NCAAs, that the ACC champion would not just be spent, so to speak, because they had to play so many games to try to win the ACC. So it's just a format that we have. And, this year, just the way that it's set up, hopefully we can use this to our advantage.
I have to follow up to that. I remember 2 years ago, you were in the same boat you played Notre Dame, I think, the second game, and I remember you played to win per se. I think you started Amos Willingham. Will you go about the same way, or is it kind of wait and see to see who you start on Thursday?
It's going to be a wait and see. We'll just wait and see who wins this first game today, and and decide. So we know Herder will either pitch Wednesday or Thursday. We know that for sure. It'll just depend on what happens in the first game today.
Go to a question now from Rod McKenzie. Go ahead, Rod.
Hey, Danny, speaking of Herder, you only faced Clemson, I guess, about 2.5 weeks ago, and he went 7 innings, 5 hits, I think, and only 1 run. So I guess you have he has a good feel about how he pitches against them. Will that determine who you throw against Clemson?
It'll probably more, Rod, just be based on who we feel like we have to beat. And, I think Brant matches up well against a lot of people, and I think he's pitched really well down the stretch. I was telling Ken, I don't think everybody was on the call, but I'm anxious to see the ballpark, because Ramsey and Kyle Wren have both hit in this ballpark as professionals, and they kind of feel like the ball goes pretty good here. And so teams with power, would have a chance to put some runs on the board in this ballpark if it's going to go like they think it's going to go. So I'm just anxious to kind of watch, the first game here today, see how the ball travels. But I think Clemson has guys that scare you when they come to the plate. I think Louisville has guys that scare you when they, when they come to the plate. So it's, this time of year, everybody's good. Everybody's in a little different situation. I think, Clemson's going to fight like crazy to try to figure out a way to get in the NCAA tournament. So is Louisville. And so you're going to get the best shot, from just about everybody that's in those situations where if they feel like they're a bubble team, then they're going to try to win every game they can in this tournament to try to, get in the NCAA tournament.
Rod, we'll do another one from you and then go back to Ken.
Yeah, Danny, your bullpen really got a workout last week, against Georgia and, of course, the North Carolina series. How important was it for you to have that extra day of rest for your bullpen heading into the pod?
I think it's ultra important. We were going to come up here on Sunday because we kind of felt like we might have to play Tuesday, but when we kind of got the choice of when we would start, that gave us an extra day of rest. And so, we're going to work out at 6:00 today at Charlotte Christian High School. That's Luke Bard's old high school. And so we'll get a chance to work out over there. We had a brief workout yesterday in Atlanta before we left. Sunday was off. So, I think the extra day will be good for us just all the way around. I think, as I was talking with Ken, you play 12 weekends in the league. All those games are pretty hotly contested. A lot of energy is spent getting through 12 weekends. And So to just have a day or two to recoup some energy and rest and get ready to go in this tournament, I think was big for us.
Go ahead, Ken.
Can you say who would be the other starter if it weren't Brandt?
No, I just think we'll see, we'll see who wins, and then we'll figure out, once we see who wins, then we'll know what our path is to try to get to the championship on Sunday. And we'll just look at it, talk about it as a staff to see, what we think our best options are to get us there.
Go ahead, Rob.
As far as starting pitching, Clemson and Louisville are in a little different position because they're in a pretty much of a must-win situation. Do you expect them to go with their Friday starters?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on it. We're gonna walk to the ballpark here shortly just to watch the first game, so we'll know at 11 o'clock today who they have chosen. I know Louisville, so they've juggled their pitching a lot, kind of the last couple weeks. So I'm not sure there. And Clemson, I think, pitched a different guy on Saturday, than they did against us. They pitched, their first two guys were the same as they were against us. So I don't know. I think whoever they think their best guy is to win that first game, that's who they're going to pitch today. So we'll find out when we walk over there this morning.
Go ahead, Ken, and then we'll go to Rob.
Is a number one seed in the NCAA tournament, is that something you feel like is out there for you that's possibly something you can get by the end of the week?
I have no idea. I think everybody's looking at our league very strangely this year. I mean, the fact that we only had two ACC schools even considered to be a host, that's rare. I think that Wiley Ballard did it, and I won't have the dates exactly right, but something like since 2005, maybe, the Coastal Division champion has always been a regional host in the NCAA tournament. So that's not going to happen this year. And so I just think that, they kind of came out before our season started and said, we're not going to use the RPI. But then when they chose the 20 potential host sites, they did use the RPI, in my opinion. They may deny that, but in my opinion, they used it. And not many ACC teams have a very good RPI. So I think it's being used against our league. And so to answer that question, I have no idea where we may or may not end up. And, and so don't know. I know if we keep winning, then we'll be fine.
Go ahead, Rob.
Danny, Sam Crawford's been a big part of your pitching staff. And of course, you had to take him out of the one game, and he didn't pitch over the weekend. What's his status now?
I think he's ready to go. I think it was almost like Brandt Herter, just kind of a little issue with his bicep. And so we just held him out like we did Brandt the one weekend. And Sammy threw the ball, yesterday, felt great. So I fully expect him to be ready to go here.
Got time for a couple more for Coach. Go ahead, Ken.
Danny, neither Louisville nor Clemson have finished particularly well. Is it at all a concern for you that maybe they won't have your team won't have your team's full attention, and they kind of feel like, oh, we've got an easy path to the semifinals? Or
no, I don't think so at all. I mean, I think that every one of those Clemson games were hard fought. We were fortunate. I mean, we came out on the winning end. But I think Clemson is a really, really good team. They're well coached. And I think the same with Louisville. Louisville has kind of been a bell cow at the top of our league for many, many years and gone to the World Series. So they definitely have players and coaches that can get them ready to play. And like I said, this time of year, everybody's fighting for the same thing, and that's a chance to keep playing after this week And so those two teams will give it everything they have.
Go ahead, Rod, wrap us up.
Hey, Danny, what's your thoughts on the DH? I know you have a lefty and a righty. Of course, Compton's a switch hitter, but do you go with the hot bat, or do you go with the lefty righty depending on who's pitching?
I think it's probably more just, who's pitching, whether it's a left-hander or a right-hander. And, Compton obviously had a huge hit for us in that North Carolina weekend to win us a game. John Anderson has swung the bat, really well. And so we'll just kind of, see who the other team is pitching and kind of what the situation is. But, I think we're in a good spot right there with a left-hand option and a right-hand option. And, like I said, we'll just see who the other team's going with.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Hey, look, the team finished on a high note the last week of the season, winning 3 out of 4, and you were right there with a chance to win that other game against North Carolina. Does that carry over to something like the ACC tournament?
Yeah, I think it does. I think we're starting to play our best baseball here towards the end of the season, which is really what you want. So, that was a huge win on Tuesday. And then, like you said, a really close game on Friday. But, I loved how the guys kind of came together and, we really battled the next 2 days and had a really good series win. So I think, baseball is a big momentum game, and it'll definitely carry over in these next few days here at the ACC tournament.
Do a question now from Ken Segura. Go ahead, Ken.
Hey, Luke. Coach Hall was saying a minute ago, he was making a point about the ACC schedule being different this year with, the 12 series. And I'm curious, how do you feel at this point physically, if you can compare it all to, to previous seasons?
I feel about the same. I mean, definitely towards the end of the season, your body, gets a little tired and stuff, but, that's why we have trainers and that's why you have recovery days and stuff like that. So, I think it's just like any other year, it was more ACC series, but it really wasn't as many games. So, we had some midweeks off, more so than usual. So, I feel great. I think a lot of the guys feel really great too. So, kind of what I was saying with momentum, a momentum of winning, and, everyone kind of got a day off there Monday or Sunday, and then, traveled and practice yesterday. So, we're ready to roll.
Take another one from Rob.
Hey, Luke, you played Clemson, I believe, on the 7th, 8th, and 9th, so it wasn't too long ago that you faced them. What do you remember about their pitching staff?
Yeah, no, they got a really good staff. We played really well all weekend in all phases of the game, and ended up winning all 3. But they're a really competitive team, and they're really going to be one to beat us this week. I mean, with us sweeping them in the regular season, that always adds a little chip on their shoulder. So, we're expecting them to put their best foot forward, and we're going to put our best foot forward too. So, really looking forward to it. I mean, it should be a great game.
Take another one from Ken.
Luke, I think typically in what most people, what takes precedence is the Ncaa tournament and wanting to do well there. But I'm curious, kind of how do you view this week and just the importance of pursuing a conference championship?
Yeah, I think this week's really important. I think you got to take it one game at a time. So I don't even think a lot of the guys are even really worried about the NCAA tourney right now. And, personally being in the championship last time, they had a tourney and losing, it really makes you want to go and win it. I mean, all that work to kind of get to the final game and lose was heartbreaking. So, obviously we got to win our pool first and then move forward after that. But, I don't necessarily think guys are looking forward to the NCAA tournament. I think, our guys are focused on Clemson tomorrow night, and then we'll have to see what happens after that and with Louisville. So, we're ready to roll, and I think a lot of guys really want to win this tourney, and I think, it should be a really, really competitive week all around.
Go ahead, Rod, with yours.
Hey, look, I think one of the things that's been overlooked over the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season is that you guys are really making the plays in the field now. What can you say about that, and how has it influenced how you guys have played overall?
Yeah, defense is a huge part of the game. It helps our pitching out, and when you play good defense and keep runs off the board, it's easier to hit as well. So, I really think, I mean, it's not necessarily an extra emphasis, but just going through your daily work on defense, getting your stuff done, getting ground balls, getting fly balls. It all helps when you're in the game to play good defense. And it's a lot more fun to be out there on defense when guys are making plays. So we try to do anything we can to keep our pitchers in good situations and help them make plays. And then when we make plays, it kind of seems like they pitch a little better too. So it's real contagious to play good defense, and that energy spreads out in other phases of the game. So.
Does it help to have the experience up the middle with you and Austin?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I trust A-Dub, in any situation. It's almost like we kind of always know what each other are thinking and doing. A lot of times we don't even have to, double check with, coverages, plays, shifting, whatever we want to do. We just kind of look over at each other and we're already kind of in the spot we need to be and we think the other person should be. So, he's one of the best defenders in the ACC, probably in the country too. So it's been really fun to play with him up the middle.
Take another one from Ken.
What did it mean to you to be named first team All-ACC shortstop?
It meant a lot. I mean, it kind of just goes to show all that work I've put in. It's kind of paying off in a sense. That was one of my preseason goals, to be first team all conference. So, during the season, you don't really think about it. You're just trying to go out there and win. But it's a nice honor here at the end of the season, just to be recognized by the ACC like that. So, there's a bunch of good players in the ACC and a bunch of good infielders and shortstops. So, it's really just an honor to be able to be first team.
Anything else for Luke? We'll do one last one from Ken. Go ahead.
Luke, I don't know how much you pay attention to what the other teams on campus are doing, but it seems like it's been a really good year all around. And I'm curious how much you notice that, and does that kind of give you any more, motivation or inspiration, encouragement for you guys to do well and keep up your end of the bargain?
Yeah, no, it's great to see everyone else doing well. I think I forget which game it was, but I know we won a game this year, and then we went and watched that into the ACC championship game for basketball. So we definitely want to bring back a trophy just like they did. But yeah, I mean, all sports all across campus have been, really playing well and doing well in the postseason. So, we just want to follow suit, just kind of like those teams. So, it's great to see, like with Twitter nowadays, it's so easy to see how other teams are doing and every little thing they do. So it's just really cool, to see all the success all the way around.
Is there a team that you have a lot of friends on, or that you follow more closely than others? Or
I mean, like we work out with the golf team, or used to. Now they work out before us, but the golf team is under Steve's watch as well. So we work out with them a lot. So we know a lot of guys on them. So I think they're out in Phoenix or something right now in the NCAA tourney. They just won they made it through their regional in Tallahassee. So good for them.
All right. Thank you very much. Oh, go ahead, Ken.
Who outlifts who, the golf team or the baseball team?
Sorry?
Who
outlifts? I think you know the answer to that, but we love the golf team. So that's all I'll say.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Brant, we talked to Coach Hall about, who he's going to start in the first game on Thursday, on Wednesday, I'm sorry. And how do you prepare when you're not sure whether you're going to be starting in that first game against Clemson?
Yeah, it's just kind of a flexible schedule. So I threw a bullpen yesterday, just kind of mentally ready to throw Wednesday. And then if I have to throw Thursday, then I'll just have another day to prepare. So it's just like kind of preparing for the first. And then if the first doesn't happen, then ready for the second.
We'll do a question from Ken Segura. Go ahead, Ken.
Grant, I'm curious, how much does it change kind of your weekly schedule to go to have, I guess you'd be to just potentially throw a day earlier than you would?
Yeah, I still take the day off after a throw, but then I'll just have like one less day of long toss. So it's pretty much the same, just I would have an extra day to like toss more.
Take another question from Rod.
Your last start against Clemson, you went 7 innings. You've been able to go, into that 7-8 inning range lately. How strong does your arm feel right now?
My arm feels great. Ever since like after I took that break off, it's just been pretty great. Recovery's been really good. I haven't really had too much soreness, so it's feeling really good.
Another question from Rod.
Yeah, the Clemson lineup, what do you remember about them? And I guess in particular, Hackenberg's a pretty good hitter behind the plate. What do you see from their lineup?
Yeah, I think they're pretty balanced. I think Caden Grice is the guy we kind of like focused last time, threw him a lot of off speed, and yeah, just kind of gonna, if I were to throw against him, just throw the same way, just kind of play to my strengths and then go from there.
Another question from Ken.
I asked Luke this. Can you just expound a little bit on just what it would mean and how important it is to win an ACC championship?
Yeah, I mean, just the confidence factor and just keeping like the momentum going into a regional would be great. I mean, it'd just be big for the team to have that confidence boost and just knowing what we can do.
Go ahead, Rod, with yours.
Brad, you've been thrown to a freshman catcher all year in Parada. How is he at handling pitchers?
He's been good. Yeah, I've kind of had to talk to him a little bit here and there about like just certain small things, like. But yeah, he's been good. Really good defensively. So.
Go ahead, Ken.
I was curious for your impressions of Marquise and what you've seen from him, particularly the last couple starts when he seems to be, he's been a lot better, more productive.
Yeah, no, I really like Marquise. I think he's just young. He's still figuring out how to throw to college hitters, but I mean, kid's really talented. He's got a really good head. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him lately.
Anything else? We'll go another question from Rod.
The bullpen has gone through a transformation as the year is going on. Some guys have stepped up towards the end of the year. And of course, now it looks like you're going to get Sammy back again. So how confident do you feel in that bullpen?
I feel really confident, especially with Sammy coming back. I think he's a key part of it. But yeah, everyone kind of turning around and kind of stepping up to the plate is just like, it's a really good sign.